Hello kids, Daddy's here. Right now, Daddy will show you a Norway romance film from 2021, titled The Worst Person in the World. Be a good kid and subscribe to Daddy's channel. Spoilers ahead, watch out. The story begins with a prologue. Julie, a woman in her late 20s who is having difficulty choosing what path her life should go down. She begins as a medical student, but she doesn't even enjoy it. She talks with her mother about her decision. After having an epiphany, she decides to pursue psychology. She breaks up with her boyfriend and doesn't even care about his feeling. She starts her new life, new major and ready for new relationship. Not for a long time, she then begins dating one of her professors. While Julie is still struggling to figure out her own, she quickly moves on to photography. She buys a camera and joins the photography class. She also makes out with her model and starts to date him. At the party, she meets Axel, an acclaimed comic artist 15 years her senior, for his famous work, Gop. She's too easily getting along with him and leaves her boyfriend off. Then, they have sex and start a new relationship. Julie moves into Axel's apartment. Despite their age gap, the two hit it off and begin a serious relationship. She is really fall in love with him. Chapter 1. The Others. Julie spends a weekend with Axel at his parents' house, as getting to know each other with Magnus married couple, Ole and Carrie Ann. They talk about kids, work, and it proves that currently she's dabbling in writing. After bonding family time, Carrie Ann asks her kid to sleep, but she runs away by fooling around under Julie's feet. And Carrie Ann brings her kid forcibly. At room, Julie and Axel have a fight. He floats the idea of starting a family to her, but she says she is not even ready and is unsure when she will be. The following day, things seems normal. They make a conversation and enjoy the meals. At night, they have a dance party. Julie looks stunning with her own red dress. As the party ends, they both back to room. Meanwhile, they hear Ole and Carrie Ann have a fight. They look uncomfortable. Then Julie makes a joke by saying that, "Shall we make a baby?" Chapter 2. Cheating. Axel's comic is getting famous. Everyone comes to ask him a picture and his signature. While accompanying her boyfriend, and no one even she recognizes as she looks so bored there. She approaches him and says that she wants to go home. While walking home from a publishing event for Axel, Julie crashes a random wedding party. She starts to have a drink and makes conversations with everyone there. She introduces herself as a doctor. She sits beside a man, his name is Ivan. They introduce themselves and getting along quickly. She tells him that she's even an uninvited guest. Though both are in relationships, they spend the entire night together, sharing intimacies, but that doesn't mean it's cheating. As they play a kind of joke, no counted as a cheating game. She starts it by drinking his beer, as he replies by staring her eyes close and touching her arm. The joke seems so fun for them. He bites her hand and she does the same thing. They kiss each other's sweat in turn, peeking at each other while they pee. After the party ends, they begin to separate. They exchange only their first names with each other because Julie doesn't want to know more about his full name or she will find him on Facebook, then she has a chance to cheat with him. They both leave off and plan no further encounter. Chapter 3. Oral in the Age of Me Too. Julie writes a blog post about her preferences in performing oral sex. Afterward, she asks Axel to read it. He feels so impressed with her writing. He encourages her to post it online, where she can receive mild attention. Chapter 4. Our Own Family. Julie celebrates her 30th birthday at her divorced mother's home along with Axel and Julie's grandmother. She encourages her father to come, but he claims with his thousands of reasons. They simply celebrate her birthday happily. Days later, Julie and Axel visit her father. He explains that he might got a prostate cancer and he gives her a jacket as her birthday present. As shown, her father is married again and has a daughter. Even he makes excuses to decline Axel's invitation to visit him and Julie in Oslo. He gives them tons of reasons by saying that he doesn't allow to drive. On the way home, Axel tells her that she needs to make her own family. Chapter 5. Bad timing. Besides writing, she is also working at a bookstore. Not even she expected, she meets Ivan and tries to hide away from him. There's a woman named Scifi who comes and asks her about a book she is looking for. Now, Julie can't hide away herself from Ivan because Scifi is his wife. As it happens, all they can do is smile at each other awkwardly. Julie and Ivan have a chance to talk while Scifi waits outside by giving her a reason that his glasses are left behind. And then, He says that he can't even stop thinking about her since that day. He tells her if he works at a coffee shop and wants to talk with her again. The next day, the world seems to stop spinning, people stop moving, and all the things suddenly stop. Julie, feeling disillusioned, decides to go on a date with Ivan and they fall in love. The world seems to belong to both of them, as they spend the time together by walking around Oslo, going to the park, and seeing the scenery of the city at night. They stare at each other, make a conversation until the sun goes down. They kiss and begin to separate. When she returns home the following morning and everything is back to normal again, she wants to break up with Axel. She explains, that's what she wants and it's not about anything he has done or his fault. She thinks it's only all their old arguments and they met in different phases of life, so it would be better they break up. While Axel convinces her to think twice about her decision as he is getting emotional. She tries to comfort him but suddenly they fight again. She expresses everything about her feeling to him, after all. Finally, both of them are understood. They have sex one last time before she leaves his apartment. It's like the best sex they have ever done. After that, Axel says that he has never been happy like this besides with her, but she is sure about her own decision. They both separate, though she implies that they could reconcile at some point. Chapter 7. A new chapter. Julie and Ivan move in together. He has broken up with Suniva. She takes all of her stuffs into Ivan's apartment. All she feels is happiness. She thinks she has a true relationship with the right person of the same age. Chapter 8. Julie's narcissistic circus. Ivan hosts a small party in his apartment where one of his friends uncovers Ivan's stash of psychedelic mushrooms. And Julie begins to taste it. After consuming them, she begins too high. She envisions herself angrily about something in her life. She wakes up in the next morning, as Ivan comes to bring her a coffee and they hug. The following night, she confides in Ivan that she can be herself around him, then kisses him. Chapter 9. Bobcat Rex Xmas. Christmas comes. While exercising at the gym, Julie watches a TV interview in which her ex-boyfriend, Axel, defends his Bobcat comics against a feminist critique. When the host accuses his comics of being sexist, Axel goes into a fiery defense of his work. Chapter 10. First person singular. Axel's brother, Ole, happens upon Julie at work. They begin to make a conversation and he tells her that Axel has inoperable pancreatic cancer. She can't even believe what she already heard. Sometime later, Ivan comes across a short story Julie had written and he reads it. As Julie comes and becomes upset at him, she thinks why he suddenly becomes so concerned about her writing while he doesn't even know what the last book he read. Ivan asks her to relax, but Julie replies by saying that she doesn't want to be like him, who will be a barista for the rest of his life. She wants more than that. He can't say anything to defend. Her words are too hurtful for him. Chapter 11. Positive. Jules has to accept the fact that she is pregnant. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't tell Ivan yet. Same like her, he also doesn't even want to have a kid. The next day, she visits Axel in the hospital. After a quite long time, they hug again. Axel confides that he is devastated by the chance that he no longer has a future. Then, he tells her what he currently does, like watching old films, old music, and being nostalgic about how fun his childhood was. And then, Julie admits that she is pregnant. He congratulates her and she turns to ask him, "Were you really sure you wanted kids?" And he replies that he used to scared and doubt too, but he convinces her that she will be a good mother. Despite his assertions that she would be a good mother, she is unsure of whether she wants to keep the baby or not. She begins to cry and he says that everything will be fine. Returning home, Julie finally tells Ivan about her pregnancy, and they decide to separate while she determines whether she wants to keep the child. He hugs her and cries. Chapter 12. Everything comes to an end. Axel takes Julie to the building where he grew up and was inspired to become an artist. He tells her that he wishes he could continue living with her and not simply live on as a memory. On that day, he seems to say goodbye for the last time. She later receives a voicemail from Axel's brother reporting that he has died. She sadly walks the streets and holds back her tears. While showering, her blood suddenly appears. She knows she miscarries and then smiles. Epilogue. Sometime later, Julie is working as an on-set photographer for a film shoot. She photographs an actress and then, gazing through a window, sees her outside with her ex, Ivan. Apparently, she is his wife and they have a kid. That's all for today, kids. Help Daddy by like and subscribe. See you on the next videos.